round's already over, according to them. 82% of you thinking the DAMWON Kia is going to win. First ban was a Nook ban. On Bank, that's pretty typical. Nook is quite strong. Grixer has been playing a lot of Nook.
That he has. We saw that in Soniqs' previous matchup. And the other side for DAMWON Kia is that they've been watching the Soniqs play earlier today because this is their first game of today. So basically, they've been able to study their opposition, whereas Soniqs, you know, might be a bit more tired, might not have as much energy, but I'm sure they have just about as much preparation because they knew that if they were to beat Elevate, they would have to face DAMWON Kia next on this same exact day. Nook, Hibana, Kaid, and Mira, nothing quite out of the ordinary besides, of course, the target ban onto Grixer that is the Nook. It's something that the Soniqs used earlier today on both Villa and Oregon. Not so much in great success on Villa, but it certainly worked out in favor of Soniqs on the second map, the second time around. So that's going to be off the board for them. And of course, we're going to be going into CEO. Fun fact, Bank is actually attacker favored as of now. It's a 44-56, so it's not like heavily skewed, but it is attacker favored. Bomb site wise, we're pretty close. 43% lockers, 45% open area kitchen, and 47% CEO. Only really archives and tellers being down the gutter on those numbers.
The two most played bomb sites are lockers, CCTV down on the bottom floor, and then open area and kitchen on that main floor. Following it up, our CEO upstairs, and then Teller's Archives only has 8 plays out of 136 rounds on this map. Not a single bomb site is currently defender favored. I think that's also quite worth talking about because we might have a map, Nick, where it might not be a defender-sided map, but 1 or 2 sites are quite good. Not the case here on Bank. None of the sites are good for the defenders at all. DAMWON Kia will have their hands full in that case. Even though this is a Soniqs map, the Soniqs and the Soniqs start on an advantageous side. You cannot take DWG Kia, DAMWON Kia out of the fight ever. They go by DK in game. You might hear us go from DAMWON Kia to DK interchangeably.
Yeah. We'll try to make them both work, or maybe we should just settle on one, but either way, we also got Soniqs and SQ. We got the Super Soniqs, if you will, and expand on that. Kansan in the basement, again, doing the Sonic special, trying to kind of get map control early on. That was one of the biggest approaches for Soniqs on their attack inside against Elevate. They were super quickly into the building, gained a little bit of ground, and held onto it. And speaking of that, yes, down below, inside of Taylor's office, we'll do this exact same thing. Trying to figure out where you have the line in the map can be very difficult on Bank. Valkyrie is open for the defenders, not in play this round, but Katsen is on the Echo, so we'll have a little bit more information than usual on this defending side.
Yeah, nothing really with that weird about the operator bans here. Nothing at all. I mean, you want to take out a hard breacher because way back when Bank was very firmly in the meta, there were only 3 hard breachers, and Maverick was not seen as viable an option. He also had fewer fuel in that tank, if you recall, which made it harder. If you were almost perfect with it, you could open 2 hatches, but there were a lot of mistakes made.
Did he fall off the roof? I think you fell off the roof, Parker. That's unfortunate. And of course, if you're Grixer, you don't want to use your gadget to get yourself up. You can get revived instead, then use the gadget. Then you're on 40, 45 health, and it's a little bit better than 20, but you're still less than half, and just a little bit of a messy start.
For those of you that haven't seen Finka in quite a while or haven't watched much of the event, Finka now gives a permanent health boost. It's no longer temporary. It does not wear off. So Grixer can keep rebuilding some of that HP back, but the problem is now he's had to burn it somewhat early. There is a minute left to play in the round, and there's still an adrenal surge to go. The Soniqs really haven't done all that much.
I think they missed on Yas. I don't think they know.
I don't think they might be closing in on Yas, but Katsang is there to support as well. He falls to Yeti, so Yas still gets to survive. Inside of that front office, waiting behind the counter, watching lobby. The Maverick was in that position. But now with Katsang down, those yokai drones are immobile. They're going to stay, and you can still gain intel off of them. But the question is are they upright? They can't actually do their job of knocking you out of the plant or disorienting. Nor can you go on scouting missions. And that's something worth noting as well. Yeti with a kill onto Yas. So there you go. Front lobby now cleared out. Woogie Man swinging onto the windows. The Sonics are hitting their marks. Rin gets the first kill on the board for DK. And now there's another for Rin. On to Kansan, equalizing. Down goes Coded, all 3 kills for Yeti. He's having a banger of a start. Rexton walks right into Woogie Man, and now Rin is under fire, scooting off over towards Stock. In comes Yeti, and Grixer will need to plant on no time. That's an easy kill for Woogie Man. 3 kills for Woogie, 2 kills for Rin, and a great first round for DAMWON Kia.
This is pretty much the most accurate representation for DAMWON Kia that you can basically have. And I'll tell you a little bit about why that is. DAMWON Kia, despite being one of the best looking teams right now, getting first in their group, etc., high praise across the board. They have one of the worst opening kill statistic in terms of how often they get it. They're sitting in the bottom 10 of the entire 20 teams here at 48% of the time getting the opening kill. However, they have the absolute highest average opening kill conversion into a round victory. So they clearly don't really play around getting the opening kill. But when they do get the opening kill, they have such a high chance to win the round, and more importantly, they're often playing 4 versus 5, because if they're not the ones to get the opening kill, well, that means they get the opening death usually. And we saw it this time around. It was a 3 versus 5 basically. Rin equaled back the score to 3-3, it became 3-2, and DAMWON Kia, they somehow, someway, just managed to win a round that seemingly had been lost. But no, that's just how it goes. DAMWON Kia started up top, now going 1 floor down below will be an open area. That is a very, very liked sight by most teams that we've seen here on Bank. And as we said earlier, Teller's Archives, I've been very surprised to see it. It's seen like 8 rounds out of 130 plus. Also on your screen we see the DAMWON Kia in-game skin for Hibana's weapon. Of course, in the in-game store we have all the esports skins you can pick up. There's a 20% sale right now, I believe all throughout Invitationals.
This also might be your last chance. Okay, Woogie Man, are you afraid of the big bad Woogie Man? Because he guns down 2 players from the Sonics right off the rip. 20 seconds into the round, he's trapped outside. Won't be able to make it back. Grixer knows exactly where he is, but absolutely worth it. Rexon and Kansan, that's your flank watch. That's your soft destruction, both gone.
Yep, that is not going to bode well. And you know, normally Sonics, they play a Jackal. Right now, that's kind of substituted by the Zero. Those Arcus cameras give you so much information for both the flanks, the general map control, and clearing out the roamers. You can also even clear utility, and all of that is now gone. You have Yeti on the Maverick, like he has been playing on in most maps for Sonic so far, Super on the Thermite, and Grixer on the Finka. That's all you got to work with. So really, you have 4 grenades and 3 flashbangs.
First time as well. Well, we saw it in the previous round, but this is the first time that we're actually getting the Sonics on Finka, because Elevate used that as a target ban on all 3 maps against SQ earlier today. Instead, DWG goes with a comfort ban and a target ban onto Nook. Nook is a very strong operator on a lot of maps, especially on Bank. We talked about this I think it was yesterday or the day before. Not yesterday, there was no matches yesterday. Last cast we did.
Yes.
We talked about how Nook on Bank is so strong because you go through Garage, there's no cams there. There's only the cam on the exterior, which is going to get shot right away, as just Coded does. Yeti equalizes. Onto a 3v3, half of the round still left to play. Onto that Nook, but for a second, hold on a second. Rin, there you go. Oh, missed opportunity onto Yeti. All 5 kills for his team. Grixer has a single kill earlier onto Woogie Man, and that was it. Now, all of a sudden, the Sonics have an upper hand. That run out from Woogie Man, obviously paying off. But what happens in the next 1 minute? That's the real question.
Yeah, Yeti doesn't need the Nook to do the lingering around. He's been very efficient at playing around the map. Sonics on Coastline, I would argue, one of the biggest win conditions is that of Yeti. He's showing the same kind of playstyle now here on Bank. A very big open map, lots of staircases, lots of different entryways, and really taking good advantage of it. 5 kills, as you mentioned. Absolute top gunner. Even Woogie Man can't stop him right now because he's already in the grave from the earlier jump out. Breach goes out. 30 seconds left. Well, you gotta do it all on Sonics, and that impact does a lot of damage as well.
There's still 2 impacts left on the board. Katsang and Yas having 1 apiece. There goes the exothermic charge. Katsang can't do anything, and he misreads it. Smokes in the pocket of Super, and 3 nades as well, but Grixer is down. Those 3 nades just became 1. Nice shot from Katsang, and it's Yeti with 1 HP. Soldiers into the bomb site. He's wary from the gunfights, and with no time left, the Banshee will continue to give his position away. There's that Maestro camera as well. Everything working for DAMWON Kia as they go up 2 rounds to 0.
So it's funny when when the Maestro used the impact grenade above the reinforcement to deny the impact trick, he actually hit Yeti directly from below because Yeti was going up square to go outside to repel down, and Yeti took like 60 damage from that impact grenade. That's some good value. You get the thermite charge, you stop them from breaching, you do good damage onto Yeti. We don't see it, unfortunately, but yeah, Yeti was almost dead on a very low amount of HP, and I'll give you guys another statistic about DAMWON Kia, just to kind of set the tone here. DAMWON Kia is the most clutch team. They have the most, clutches per round. They have 13 1vx's so far. That means 11% of all the rounds so far has been a clutch, if you will. That is extreme. Woogieman, something that the analyst desk, Dev and Andy spoke about, ranked like top 5 in rating, top 4 in the plus-minus statistic. He's plus 32 right now, and he is number 1 in clutches, tied with Prano from Rogue, having 5 individual 1vx's to his name. And I mean, we saw the early jump out from the Woogieman previous round. He doesn't have any hesitation. When he sees a play or sees an opening, he goes for it. And it's something that DAMWON Kia as a team do really well together. Whereas on the side of Soniqs, they usually have a very clear-cut plan what they want to do going into a map. We saw it against Elevate only a few hours ago. And then when it doesn't work, I will say the one strength that Soniqs provides as well is their flexibility, or their adaptation rather, to really reading enemy teams. They will lose, let's say, 3 rounds. They'll recognize the issues. Then they'll change it up and really come stronger on the following 3 rounds to tie up the score. They do a really good job at it, and so far, well, they'll have to keep doing just that because they're down 0-2 right now.
Well, as we said coming into this, neither of these teams have played this map in quite a while, and they've not played it here at the 6th Invitational either. What was the number for the Soniqs? They haven't played this map in like 3 or 4 months or something like that.
It's been more than 3 months.
Yes, it's been quite a while from them, and they picked it. As we talk about when map pools become what they become for teams, and we see a mystery pick, which I think Bank is very easy to describe as, is that you deliberately save this up. The Soniqs have likely been scrimming Bank and have probably been getting decent success. They've probably looked at old VODs of DAMWON Kia and said, okay, we don't think they're as proficient on Bank. We can make this bomb site, we can make these bomb sites, we can make this map work. So let's go there. Why don't we? And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. So there's a big question mark for us as to how these teams are going to match up, because we don't have that historical data. The teams don't either. So if things start to go awry, it's not like you can lean back on, oh, we know what this team is going to do. Oh, we know what the strat is going to be. Oh, we know what the setup's going to be. You don't know at all. So it's quite impressive to see teams do this, because in a lot of ways, what you accomplish in a scrim does not directly apply to a match. You know that from experience. You can have a great scrim on it, and get smoked internationally. You can get smoked in competition.
Yeah, scrims can be a big bait sometimes, or a false sense of confidence, if anything, where, oh, we did really good. Let's just, we're feeling good about this map, let's play it. You get smoked, you get stomped, it's a different story. And it only gets further enhanced when you play internationally, against other regions, against teams you haven't really played against before, where the head-to-head matchup is much more unknown, where Soniqs, they know how TSM plays, but DAMWON Kia, that's a different story. Defense coming out from DK, they have to hold servers. They're standing there with their lives. Magnet came out, saved them as it covered the nade. Second nade goes wide. I don't think it did them or hit the mark. And that means now that Woogieman, well, it's going to be difficult.
And Grixer gets the very first pick onto Yas. Yas has had a very quiet tournament. Woogieman backing away, using 2 of those toxic canisters so far. 1 still remain in his pocket. Rin is at the bottom of the stairs and will narrowly dance around that grenade, and now re-engage onto the Maverick, but not enough HP. Soniqs dominating the kill feed. Woogieman last alive, still inside of blue, and they know it. Yeti taken out by a quick shotgun blast, but the players of the Soniqs are prepped and ready for this. 3 still remaining. Nice shot on the Grixer. Woogieman's been so proficient so far, but as Rexon gets the diffuser down, the job of Woogieman becomes a lot harder, if not impossible. It's not a perfect rotation for DAMWON Kia. The Soniqs take round number 3. It's their first, and it comes at a pretty good time.
Yeah, and I feel like Soniqs had a much easier time attacking basement, because that's not really a map where DAMWON Kia can move around as much. There was no real roam game. It was very much a server-heavy setup. There was 3 players. Yas was on the server rack itself on the Wamai. Rin was bottom server stairs on the Jaeger, and you had the Woogieman on top of the server stairs. They had invested all their ADSs, and if not all and most of their madness as well, trying to hold down the fort, but too much utility from the side of Soniqs. The flashbangs coming out, the nades as well. Yeti did a really good job inside of Dirt Tunnel. Something that a lot of teams, they fail to capitalize on is that they'll have a bunch of people on the staircase, a bunch of people in the hatch, but they don't have anybody on the dirt itself. Yeti, really good job recognizing that we need somebody there, and who better than somebody with grenades. He's been a key factor right now on these first 3 rounds. 6 kills right now. Grixer, he now has the finger, he has the LMG, something he didn't have against Elevate, and he's looking pretty good as well so far. 3, 2, and 1. And the gadget of that Adrenal Surge will help you a lot against the gunfights of DAMWON Kia because there'll be a lot of chip damage. We saw how DAMWON played the first 2 rounds in these more open bomb sites of open area and CEO where they take gunfights. They peek a little bit, they do some damage, they run away, they sneak somewhere else. And then the finger, well, if you take damage, the Adrenal Surge will help you get back up healthy to take the following gunfight and the one after that. So as an attacker, you have a bit of healing, and on defense, well, there's no Thunderbird being brought out, so there's no way to really match it.
There's no Doc either. Doc is completely
Doc is
completely fallen out of the conversation here. And now you've got Thunderbird who tends to take the place of Doc. I think it's very easy to say that the Spear is a better weapon than the MP5, and you're also looking at the Kona stations being superior to Doc's stim pistols, especially with the fact that Doc just has access to those 3 stim pistols, whereas the Kona station, there's 3 of them, and they replenish over time. So the healing potential of a Thunderbird is significantly higher. The only downside that a Thunderbird brings is that you have to be in proximity to those Kona stations, which isn't very large. The radius around it is quite small. Doc, as long as he's got a line of sight on you and there's nothing in the way, that stim pistol's going to connect.
Yeah, Doc is great for the revive, but not the raw healing itself. And typically at this level of play, once you're injured, you're typically dead. Or at the very least, you will be very soon. If you're injured to a nade, well, a second one follows up. If you get injured by a wallbang, a drone comes out, you get spotted, then you're dead regardless of the second wallbang. Boogeyman's inside of sight. We are on CEO. Similar fashion as before. Soniqs on the rappel, that's Rexon. As he is on the 0, looking to get active. He has 3 more Argus cameras in his pocket and 2 can openers. So Soniqs, they're bringing that secondary hard breach in case something else fails. It's kind of like their insurance policy where if Super falls down early, well, Yeti, he's doing Yeti things across the map. That means Rexon, he's the second support if anything. And with the gadget of the cameras, and the secondary heartbeat gadget, that means that you have a lot of adaptability around the map if something fails. Grixer says, we'll make it work early. Boogeyman off the board, that's Jaeger. So the gadget stays around, he'll help out his team, but he'll be watching cams for now.
2 opening picks for Grixer in the last 2 rounds. Picking off Boogeyman is huge. Nobody else from DAMWON Kia have been quite as proficient or as formidable in this matchup. Plenty of time for them to find that, but Soniqs has opened up one of the back panels leading into the CEO portion of the bomb site. And they've got control of square stairs. The next obstacle is Rin sitting behind a deployable shield. This was a powerful spot for Rin before. Took down 2 players of the Soniqs before ultimately all of the Soniqs fell, leaving Grixer inside of the bomb site alone, if you recall. Super's going for a plant. There's a Yokai drone getting into position and it'll knock him out of it, so he can't really do too much, but it cost the Yokai drone its life. Now Coded under fire. Skatsang fires away, missing out on Super. The head shown of one of the players of the Soniqs, and there goes Super to Coded. A swing in, bad coverage for the Soniqs. Everybody falling just as the Soniqs dominated the kill feed before. Now it's DAMWON Kia's turn. Yeti and Kansan the last 2 alive. Make that just Kansan as Yas picks up another big kill, and so does Coded. Confusing round from the Sonic standards. Where were they to watch Super and watch the diffuser being planted like that? DAMWON Kia are up 3-1.
Yeah, basically Soniqs never quite took control over janitors, and that left open some angles from the side of DAMWON Kia to abuse. They didn't have any C4s, there was no smoke, it was just that one Yokai drone, the final remaining one, that stopped Super, got information, and delayed the plan from Soniqs, and after that they just found the angles, they found the picks, but Soniqs, once again, they have this weakness. They tend to go for the easy, simple, direct kind of execute, and it's punishing them, and I think it'll continue to haunt them the better teams they play against. Against the worst teams, or worser, there's no bad teams here, you'll get away with simple stuff, because they won't punish you for it. But DAMWON Kia, well, if you present an open angle, they'll take it. They'll take the fight, they'll hit the shot, they'll take you out, you'll learn from it. Soniqs will really have to show their ability to adapt throughout this game, because as you mentioned, Parker, this is not a map that either team has shown at this Invitational. You're going in with very little study work, which I think is Soniqs' strong side for the most part, but they've shown great adaptability inside the game when all else fails. I think we're at that point. What they're trying to do is not working. Now it's time to adapt. You attacked every single bomb site except for Archives Tillers. You know what to expect. So on the second time around on the bomb site rotation, now it's your turn to show that you've learned from the past. Rexen with the IQ, that might be the first step. They recognize that they want to map the layout. They want to figure out where the utility is. If there's an Echo on the board, if there's a Valkyrie on the board, they can find the gadgetry. They can take them out, reduce the information gain from DAMWON Kia to make them less likely to swing you. Great first step. Now we gotta see it in action. Yeti doing the same thing. Kansen and Rexen playing together while Yeti's halfway across the map. I say that Kansen and Rexen together, but they're really not because they're like 3 floors apart. Kansen's in the basement and Rexen is going up above. Kansen having that same entry point as the first round. Coming up blue stairs from server. Woogieman lingering, holding the entry from back alley. Good drone work here, making sure we don't peek it, because with no information, it's not going to bode well. Woogieman biding his time, waiting patiently, getting the drone, but wants to assert dominance, assert aggression, make sure the map control stays in his team's favor. As Kansen gets the gunfight, gets the kill, good headshot. It's the first kill for Kansen as well.
4 of the 5 rounds right now, Nick, have gone in favor of the Soniqs on that initial bit of action. So, again, DAMWON Kia will play without one of their players, and again, it's Woogieman, one of the easy top performers of this entire event, and now has a handful of MVPs to his name, despite the fact that he has been ineffective for about 3 of these rounds. Still leads the team in 6 kills, and there was that run out that you saw from Woogieman all the way back in round number 2, I believe it was, or round number 3. I can't remember the specific round when he went for that leap out, but round 2 it worked for the team, and he was paramount in giving them a little bit more breathing room. So the Soniqs being able to start this off on a map like Bank, it's good for them, but they only have 1 round. That's it.
Yeah, it is, and we see Yeti actually proning inside of lobby. He was using a pillar to make his body smaller, or to appear smaller, to not be shot in case somebody swung it out, but that wasn't the case. Jazz now, yes, inside of Tiller's Archives. There's a second person to follow as well, but Yeti finds a kill on to code it. That means it's a 5v3. Gets traded back by Yaz. Very nicely done. Yeti off the board, top gunner as well. No nades inside of Maverick to be used this round.
And heads back to the bomb site. Looking into Archives, there's a small opening, and that angle being held by Yas. The thing that we don't talk about enough is how strong Yas can be. Yes, he has not had the most spectacular performance, but there's still always that looming threat. He's been the best player in APAC by a country mile over the last year, so even if there's a bit of a lull or role change for DAMWON Kia, still as formidable as ever. We're talking now because there really isn't all that much happening. Exothermic charges go off, and DAMWON Kia have peeled back. They trail in terms of numbers. Super and the Soniqs have opened up the wall.
Rexen flank as well.
Rexen is indeed flanking on main stairs, and there we go. Sound being made. Katsang going down. Yas engaged with the IQ, gets the kill right back in. Swatted away by Grixer. Super sticking the plant. Rin needs to stop it in his tracks, and next to that castle barricade is where the diffuser is going down, so Rin is boxed out, and the Soniqs close out the bomb site and stop Rin from being effective at all. I suspect that part of that play was the Oryx to hop up through those hatches in open area, but when the hatch control is held by the Soniqs, you're essentially climbing up, and you're very vulnerable for those couple seconds, and then you are as good as dead.
It's gonna feel really bad if you're in, because the planta was spotted out, you knew exactly what was happening. You run up the blue stairs, you turn to your right, you see, a castle barricade. It's meant to help your team. It's meant to enforce the bomb site itself, but in this particular instance, it actually stopped Rin from taking down Super, who was on that plant. With the time running quite low, that could have been a clutch, but instead, the castle barricade provided fortification for the attackers, despite being a defender gadget, and that 1v3, well, became very difficult to win. Now we're down in the basement. We're continuing the same rotation of CEO, open area, and basement. And we're going to be seeing Valkyrie brought up from Yaz, so we're going to get more information on the board. Not the most plant denied. We only got 1 C4. We got Toxic Base from Woogieman, and we got the Evil Eyes from Coded. Evil Eyes don't typically do a whole ton of damage to the planter. It's more like, oh, the attackers have to destroy them, because if they don't, well, you have information and the attackers know that you have information. And that's frustrating. It's annoying. It'll spot you, it'll ping you, it'll shoot your drones if you don't cover it. So that can be quite annoying to deal with. Yas getting the hatch in open area, making sure that all of those are reinforced. Same thing for Wookieeman inside of lobby. Katsang, he's going to be vibing around on that first floor. Probably kill a drone or two. I don't expect too hard of a roam here. He will impact the wall and make his way back down to side. So, relatively passive for now, but a little bit of presence on the first floor. Soniqs will have to attack it. They got a similar lineup. They went off the IQ. They said, you know what? We got the DOP. It worked. Great. Now back onto the zero. That is Rexon. Cameron's out of garage. He's going to provide good information. Rin, now, verticality. Raining from above. It's going to force him back on the main stairs and down to basement.
On the hunt, the Soniqs will start off this 6th round with very limited action through the 30 seconds, but that's okay. Finding the remaining Valkyrie cameras that are strewn about, not too close to the bomb site. Another downstairs, as you said, and this hold for DAMWON Kia might be better than what we saw before. It doesn't look like DK are roaming as aggressively, at least from the vantage point that we have. They seem to be more protected, more sheltered, and playing closer to the bomb site. And I think that might be the right move strategically, especially with how quick the Soniqs were to clear out the front lobby. Hatch is being opened up by the Soniqs. They still run those dual hard breacher combo with Yeti sitting on the Maverick now for this entire half, and Super running on the Thermite. Rexon as well, bringing that can opener means that you've got tons of hard destruction at your disposal, and a single operator with that hard breach secondary can open everything up.
Yeah, it seems like Soniqs will go for a similar server attack, so, well, we're gonna have Yeti go into dirt tunnel, rotating around, and we got Wookieeman on the server stairs. Similar fashion as the last time, but this time around he has no backup, it's just the Wookieeman. Nobody's inside servers, you have Rin inside the A-bomb playing inside of red, so Wookie, if you can get a kill or two, that's going to be great. But once you go down, there's no toxic babes for the plant, right? There's almost no bomb denial whatsoever. We have a single C4 after that fact, and now Gersh is going to jump down. Nate from Yeti, you can swing with that as well. Wookieeman forced to go backwards, but the double swing comes out. Great job.
And very strong coordination. Excellently played by the Soniqs, and Adrenal Surge to boot, just to give them a little bit of a top up now. And playing this barricade, right next to the reinforcement rather. Rexon takes out Katsang. DAMWON Kia are struggling at the moment to deal with this aggression. And they're just going to get run over by the Soniqs. As it continues, Rexon picks up kill number 2 onto Yas. Coded has to head back to the bomb site. Doesn't have access to the Alda. Down goes Rin. The nade's hitting their mark. Used to displace earlier on. The shots from the shotgun of Coded continuing to go. Flattens Rexon, but Grixer says that's all she wrote for that round. First half, DAMWON Kia started off strong, but the Soniqs muscle back. And it's 3-3 as we switch sides.
3-3 indeed. Not looking very convincing for either team just yet. There was a very clear favor of what bombs were defended versus its success rate. For example, the Soniqs, they won both basement attacks. They clearly knew how to break it apart, right? You get the map control, you breach every hatch inside because you brought enough hard breach with the can opener, with the Maverick, with the Thermite, and then you're gonna work your way through servers. And this time, on the previous round, Wookieeman, sole player, had absolutely no support from his teammates, and that made it so difficult. Gripster dropped the server hatch, Yeti came in from dirt, naded bottom staircase. That was all a bait, because someone from Soniqs swung the server stairs from a square and then shot Wookieeman in the back. Sold a bit short, but a nice try from DAMWON Kia. Now they're on the attack, bringing a similar lineup but with a twist. They got the Thermite, they got the Zero, but there is no Maverick. Instead, we're seeing the Dokkaebi, something that APAC is very fond of. And in case you guys didn't know what Dokkaebi does, basically, if anybody from the attacking side kills the defender will drop a phone, a physical phone that will fall to the ground. Then Dokkaebi can run over and hack it. Of course, the defenders, if there's somebody nearby, can shoot that phone, rendering that part of the mechanic useless. But if you manage to hack the phone, you get access to almost every single gadget and camera in sight. So for example, Yeti's Yokais on the Echo, the Dokkaebi will see those. Bulletproof gadgets, you have one, bulletproof cameras rather, you have one from Super, you can see that. The 3 black eye cameras from Valkyrie, you can access to all of those as well. So if DAMWON Kia can just get one pick for free, and then hack the phone. You are getting an absurd amount of value because of how much information Soniqs has brought this round, so that can really go back and punish them. But of course, it is a basement defense, so finding an opening pick can be very difficult. Got a logic bomb coming out, that's going to help you secure the early stage, and Rin, already deep inside the building, has taken top square control and locked down the server staircase itself. Once you manage to get that main set of stairs too, you got the full map in control, and DAMWON can do the same thing Soniqs did and start setting up the execute.
Given what we know of this map and the stats that you read out, Nick, this is an attacker-favored map. So the fact that DAMWON got to go even with the Soniqs is a good sign for DK,
Absolutely.
I would argue, especially the fact that this is Soniqs' map choice. So Soniqs plus the better side equals should have decisively won the first half. They did not. So I would be a little bit concerned as to what we're going to see on this half. But the one thing I will say is that because Bank is so close, it might just be a very close half both ways down. We might need overtime to settle it.
Certainly. We're seeing the exact same setup from both teams, right? Zero will use the can opener to get the open area hatches, and now DAMWON will have to start droning out.
Hold on.
Hold on. Oh,
Super is playing
Super?
Jaeger on the
Okay.
top of blue stairs with the M870 shotgun in hand.
I will say, I like this over the smoke because then when the smoke falls, you lose the toxic babes. And sure, the gadget can help you on that server stairs position, but I don't think the value is worth it. So putting Super, of all people on the staircase, I mean, it makes sense, right? Once he dies, he can make calls for his team from the grave, watching those cameras because they have the Yokais, they have the Valkyrie, they have the Bulletproof. So honestly, this might be a giga brain strat from the side of Super. We'll see if he can do it. Get a kill or two, buy some time. Right now, DAMWON being quite slow, but Rin just gonna walk on in.
This is exactly what we've seen from a bunch of teams here on Bank, which is that you want to go for the pinch. Oh, Super walks right over and destroys Yes. That's one of the best players in all of APAC, taken down by Super, who's looking for more. 3 and 4 in this position, and there you go, a bit of a distraction. Those Swiss cheese holes allow Rin to blow open the wall, but took some damage in the process before that. DAMWON dangerously close to stalling out on their attack right now with 15 seconds left in the round. And there's some of the smokes getting hucked out by Kansan. Woogieman is in the midst of the smoke, and a nitro cell goes out. There goes Woogieman down for the count. The Soniqs making mincemeat out of these DK players, and Coded is the last to fall. The whole team is gone. It's mayhem inside of the bomb site, but the Soniqs come out on top of their very first defense.
It looked alright for DAMWON besides the clock ticking down, but time wasn't really the issue there. They had a good setup. Smokes came out, one player flanked the main stairs. The most important part of that execute is that the Dokkaebi used the last logic bomb call, which basically meant that every single defender that was alive had to get off the cameras. That includes the Echo, who couldn't stop the plant, but instead as C4 came out, that just simply took him out of the equation. It was a very nice try, it was a decent execute. Super finding that kill and buying so much time for his team actually played a big factor, and that's where Soniqs, they were a little bit faster to clearing that server stairs, whereas DAMWON were a bit more cautious, fearing that Jaeger shotgun. And well, that's how you gain the advantage. If you buy enough time or buy enough resources, well, then you got the advantage. We're gonna go above now. It is still Soniqs on the defense. That hasn't changed, and Super now flexing, really showing his muscles, playing the Jaeger shotgun, now on the Echo. So Yeti will be in the Moma instead, as he was the Echo prior. Kansan still staying on top of that smoke. Very good operator selection here. I like what we're seeing. Both teams bringing out the Valkyrie as well because it has been left unbanned. Something that's quite rare on Bank, and we've seen both teams really try and spend as much time when they're droning, flicking corners in the ceiling, trying to find those black eye cameras from Valkyrie to ensure that, well, we don't want to be spotted in the end of the round with those yellow pings because that's not going to be good for us. It really allows the verticality from defenders, use of C4s, impacts, shotguns, etc. So you want to make sure that the defenders do not have accessibility to that information. And that's exactly why we see again the Dokkaebi being brought out from Coded.
Both APAC teams running a Dokkaebi against the Soniqs, by the way. Just in case anybody's curious, the Soniqs already deal with it against Elevate on that Villa map. And a lot of value, as you talked about a couple rounds ago, of what a Dokkaebi can bring. The actual offensive loadout of a Dokkaebi is not particularly strong, but if you're bringing those flashbangs, you've got at least some utility clear. And your ability to paralyze your opponents and know exactly where they are based on that sound is huge, let alone if you can get a kill and immediately retrieve the phone to gain access to the defender intel. It gains more value as a Dokkaebi if there are multiple bulletproof cameras up, if there are Maestro cameras up, if you've got a Valkyrie in play, and hey, would you look at that, there's tons of intel that's available right now because of the Soniqs lineup.
Yep. That just means that if you can find that pick, you gain so much. But once again, see, a similar story of that of Basement, where there will not be a whole lot of isolated targets unless you are roaming. That's not something Soniqs are doing. We got all 5 players. Well, we got 4 players on the top floor. Grixer is down below. But you can even argue, if Grixer falls, you could just make a small hole in the ceiling above him, take out his phone. That way you cannot hack it. I'm not sure we're thinking that far ahead of your Soniqs because this is such an unusual pickup of the Dokkaebi early engagement coming out.
And there it is. Katsang and Kansan dueling each other off. They might start with the first 3 letters, but it ends with an unfortunate result for Kansan. Now Super is gone as well. DAMWON Kia had some problems on that very first round, but they've seemingly learned from it. Now it's Woogieman to get tackled by Yeti. Yeti's still upright, playing right now inside a Trump. Logic Bomb goes off. Diffuser almost down by Woogieman, and the Soniqs might not know about this. Yeti scrambling to get out of there as it's now a post-plant with the Korean team ahead. A flawless round still within their grasps as it's Rex in the fall next. Nitro Cell expended by Grixer. He's down below and isolated, but he doesn't find anything for it. The Soniqs are in a hell of a world of hurt right now. Grixer spotted out, and it's all up to Yeti. That is about it. Right now inside a Janitor, as you talked about, multiple players from DAMWON over by Square. No flawless round. Rin is the one that has to be sacrificed for the greater good. That leaves Yeti in a 1v4 with only 10 seconds to go. Tough spot to be in for him. Still inside a Janitor, not going anywhere. This round in about 2 seconds is over. Even if you get it down on Yas, you're doing it for the rankings. That's about it. Pad your stats, why don't you? And that's all she wrote. A final kill comes in even though it wasn't needed. And DAMWON Kia find their footing on their second attack.
Once again, DAMWON Kia using the logic bomb from Dokkaebi to basically allow the executor to come through cleanly. No members alive, can check the cameras. And well, that round, to be fair, there were like 3 dead players from the side of Sonic, so those people could check the cameras, but you can't act upon it, right? You cannot actively use the yokai drone. Super was dead as well. He was in the echo, so really just no response overall. And I don't think they're gonna go off this Dokkaebi anytime soon because it's working for them. You get to bring some utility, you get to bring the flashbangs, the gadget, and sure, the weapon might not be the best, but that's not really why you bring it. You have good guns on Katsang, Yas, Rin, even Woogieman on the Thermite, so you don't really need all that much. We're gonna keep changing up the bomb sites. We're not gonna go anywhere twice in a row from either team. It'll be open area, and now we see the flexibility again from Soniqs. Now Yeti's in the castle, Rexon's on Thunderbird. We spoke about that operator earlier. Much better than Doc, right? And now they're bringing it, and it makes sense for open area where, well, this is a roam bomb site. So you can put down those Kona stations on bomb site, then you can go out and roam, do your thing, take your gunfights. If you survive, you can run all the way back to the bomb site, get healed back up, then continue out in action. And that's also why we see Grixer on the Oryx. We basically want to get out as much on the map as possible. Yeti castling the ATM doors, ensuring that if anybody comes from there, they'll have some sort of information as they'll have to break those castles first. We actually see a Kona station.
Okay, this is really interesting, what we're witnessing right now, by the way. Teller's Archives only at what? I think it was 8 picks of the 136 rounds.
It is open area bomb site.
It is the open area bomb site, but I was going to say, Teller's Archives is going to be a massive focal point for the Soniqs defense because that's where the Thunderbird was setting up. So you're going to play off of the roam, and talking to a lot of these players about how Thunderbird is most used effectively, it's put 2 of those Kona stations in what are considered power spots in the bomb site where 1 or 2 players are going to play, or at least are close enough to where players can play off of, and then keep one of those Kona stations either in your pocket or on a position on roam. In this case, I don't think it's correct to call a Teller's or Archives hold a roam necessarily. They're playing aggressively near the bomb site.
Extension.
It's an extension. location of the bomb site effectively, especially towards the archives component. Not necessarily Tellers. There's a Nitro Cell from Rexon, read out perfectly on the Katsang, and the Soniqs will take the very first pick. Logic bombs raining on down on these Soniqs players. Still one left. That annoying device that will give so much information. Well, there's one remaining for an inevitable execute. Half of the round to go. Katsang does not get in the building. Katsang has not had a very good map so far. And with it, the Soniqs have an advantage and they can breathe easier as to where these attackers are going to come from and what utility they have.
Katsang actually, important note here, he actually has, or had rather, the breaching charge secondary gadget, just like Rin does as well. But that means without Sledge or Buck on the board, you'll be extremely limited to how much of this floor you can break. If you had 3 additional breaching charges from Katsang, you could do over twice the amount of verticality as you can now, and you'll most likely have to spend Rin's primary gadget of those Sophia boom boom grenades, if you will, to further open up the floor. So it's going to limit you if you're DAMWON Kia, because you gotta now walk down the staircases instead and try and seek out gunfights, and well, if you're not breach the site or the wall into sight, there'll be mute jammers, so you gotta nade above. That's going to be good for them. Are there any impacts from the defenders? Let's check. No, there is not. That means this wall will get opened up, but not on. Oh, yeah.
That is...
I think the nade missed. It must have bounced back. Took out Wookieman. This wall will stay closed.
This is okay. So after this round, DAMWON Kia is going to call a timeout because A, you're now behind in terms of numbers. This round is effectively unwinnable for DAMWON Kia at this point. You don't have any hard breach available. You don't have a way to get the wall open. You're going to be able to open the castle barricade, and the rush could potentially come in, but you have no intel as to where they are in the bomb site, and you don't have a lot of time either. Only 20 seconds left. As for the Soniqs, they are all stacked up. They're being patient. They're playing the corners, and they are prepared and ready for these players from DAMWON Kia to get into the bomb site, if they even do at all. I mean, I think they know that it's a hopeless endeavor at this point. Rin gets swatted away by Grixer, and Yas will end up staying alive, but it doesn't matter because, again, if you're an attacker, your focus is to get in and get that.
But it also really shows a good lesson about how important it is to set up difficult tasks, or just tasks in general, that your opponent has to solve, right? Let's say there wasn't a jammer or any wall deny on that open air wall earlier where the nade went bad. Well, you just put the thermite charge down, you pop it, and it opens up. By putting a jammer, you now need to open up the wall above, throw a flashbang, check for ADSs, then cook a nade, throw the nade, and kill the jammer, and then breach the wall. So simple things like that, just taking a simple mute jammer, a bandit charge, or a kite claw, it sets like a 2 or 3 step process for the enemy to solve. It's super simple, but highly effective. It's the same thing when you make holes vertically, so that, oh, you have to worry about the holes above or beneath you. Same thing with Valkyrie cameras. Bringing the Valkyrie and then spotting people, they'll go, oh no, they know where we are, run, panic, all this stuff. So it is extremely simple, and every single operator, they bring their own kind of value and pressure onto the opponents with their primary gadget. And when you play around that beautifully, and then with a little bit of luck, such as Yas missing the grenade, well, you can gain a ton of value out of it. Soniqs back in the basement, and we are indeed seeing Super once again on the Jaeger with the shotgun on the server stairs. Last time he had a great time. He found 1 kill, he stalled out, bought a lot of time, and I mean, they won the round, so that's fun. And look at this, he just sits there. He's gonna sit there for the next minute straight. He's not gonna move a muscle, not even gonna be checking cameras. He's just gonna be sitting and waiting, eventually just to die. Most likely, at least. Rexon does have the MI, so discs will be on the board as well. We can help Super reinforce that position, but that's about it. You don't want to expend too many people because you will ultimately fall. No team in their right mind believes they can hold the server stairs. Not at all. You believe you can stall, maybe get a kill. If you're amazing, you can get 2 kills, but here's the counter. The Retaro drones against Super are highly effective. Just like in a Pokemon game, you hear that crit sound that happens, and he's back in when I played Pokemon games in like 2005.
What the hell are you talking about?
When you get a
no, I understand what you're talking about, but why? What's it?
It makes that sound. It's like a hurtful sound. When I was like, oh, that hurts. Ah, that's what happens. Super highly effective.
Super effective.
Super effective. Highly effective.
Quite literally, super.
I got it the first time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm just trying to make as many puns as possible as we watch this startling conclusion. A very close barn burner of a match so far between these teams. There's the very first pick on Grixer. Super re-engages. He did this against Elevate on Villa, by the way, where he tried to fight far enough away with a shotgun. It did not work.
Nope, and it doesn't work this time around either. Super, of course, should be used to the shotgun. He does play smoke, but it's a different kind of shotgun. And if you don't believe in it hard enough, well, it will not give you what you need. 3v5 with 50 seconds left. What do you have as a defender? Well, you have no yokai drones, you have no C4s, you have 2 smoke canisters. And with 40 seconds left in a 5v3, well, DAMWON Kia, not only do you have to plant, but you gotta create chaos to make space. Drop a hatch, flank the main stairs, go crazy, because otherwise, you make it too easy.
And there's the diffuser getting planted, Coded watching from above, firing away, waiting for Rexon to peek. Not much you can do against that. Off of the diffuser, DAMWON Kia go. That allows some time for the Yokais to move into position. It's Cat saying to get softened up. First player on DAMWON Kia to fall below half HP. Now Kansan playing keep away. A nice shot on the Cat saying, but more to be found. There's the Yokai drone.
They have one.
Waiting out the clock. Does he get it in time? Yes, he does. Miraculously done by Yeti. But now Kansan is down, so it's a 1v4. No real opportunity for the diffuser to be stopped at all. DAMWON Kia shore up some of their weaknesses after that timeout. And again, these teams are incapable of shaking each other as it's 5-5, and all 12 rounds will be needed.
Going the distance, turns out there was actually Yokai drone alive after all. That's very nice, but not nice enough because ultimately it didn't matter. DAMWON Kia did just that. They flooded the side. The second that Yokai got active, they all sprinted 3 people to the grass. He must be over there. Try and take him out. And sure enough, Yeti was hiding behind that yellow pillar deep inside of garage, playing very far back. We're actually going to go back one more time. So back to back to the basement. And I'm curious to see if Super Bowl for the 3rd time he has the shotgun. It's going to happen again. We're going to see it. So far, he's 50-50. He's won one, or defended once, and he's kind of lost the defense the 2nd time because Super didn't really get any value. And that was one of the big differences, is that the server stairs was easy for DAMWON Kia. They didn't just get 1 opening kill, they got 2 opening kills. But the only thing that I worry for the side of Soniqs, if you're not going to be at least fake or pretend roaming a little bit, DAMWON Kia will clear the map extremely quickly. And when that happens, they get so much time for the stage 2 of the round, which is the setup, right? Because the round typically breaks down into 3 different parts. You start off with the map control or roam clear. You know, that is to drone your entries in, figure out are there any threats, are there any enemies, what's happening. Then you take the space. That should take about the first minute of the round. If you're faster than that, great. If you're slower, not so great. And with that, you can start phase 2, which is the setup. That's you droning out the bomb site, you know, you drone the server stairs, you breach the hatches, etc. You pretty much choose how you want to attack. And then the stage 3, the very end, the grand finale, is the execute. And that's what you just saw. Inside of servers, you breach the wall, you toss out the smoke grenades, you hold the cover so your planter is safe, and you want to get down the diffuser. And that's it. 1, 2, 3. Very simple. And as a defender, you want to counter that. That's why you roam, to buy time, try and get a pick, cause confusion, and just make the first step from the attackers a lot more difficult. Soniqs aren't doing that. They're making the first step extremely easy. 45 seconds in, they got the entire map in control. It's too fast.
There was a logic bomb that got burned as well. Super's back on the shotgun on Jaeger. This is the 3rd time that we're seeing it. While we have some time here, spoilers inbound, cover your ears for the next 10 seconds. An update from the other stream, Team Empire and the Russian squad defeating Space Station by a score of 2-0. SSG will go down into the lower bracket.
What?
And they await the winner of NIP versus MIBR. As for Empire, they play the winner of this matchup. So,
wow.
The Russian squad rolling forward.
My predictions. That's not good.
I don't know what you predicted, but
the wrong thing, Parker.
there's no Rotero drone in play on this round.
That's really good if you're Super.
It's a very good thing for the Soniqs. That allows Super impunity at the top of these blue stairs. All the ADSs there, a mute jammer there, a deployable shield there. It's going to keep getting eaten, and this is just a lack of information. The Zofia stuns come in after the nades. That's not usually the sequence that you want to use them in.
It's also tricky because the Zofia stuns, they don't have the same target party system as regular projectiles. If you stun someone that's next to an ADS, there's like a 50-50 chance you hit the player, all ADS, but Rin walks in from dirt, and that could be a factor. Is the cover there for Soniqs or not?
Now, one of the things with them bringing this Dokkaebi, by the way, is that's your only set of flashbangs available, nothing else. You don't have a sledge, so you have to bring hard breaches. You're running with the Zofia. There are a lot of holes in the lineup from DAMWON Kia that prevent them from tackling this top of blue stairs as effectively as they need to.
They've rotated.
They have.
Server.
They don't like it anymore.
They're jumping lobby hatch right now. It's going to be a rush.
And there you go. DAMWON Kia are in, by the way. Guns hitting their marks. Rex in the first one, but it's Grixer with kill number 1 on the Woogie Man. Either team that prevails here goes to match point. Yas is the next one to take a ton of damage. Katsang trades his HP away for a kill on Yeti. It's Yas now to re-engage all the way over by Vault. Seeing a foot of Grixer, down he goes. Beautiful play by Yas. Coded taking some damage. Rexon swinging from outside of elevator. Did they know he was even in there? 5 seconds to go. Soniqs line him up. There's a kill. A big double play. Triple play from Kansan inside of lockers. And he gets a pat on the back from Grixer as it's match point for the Soniqs.
Oh boy, who'd have thought that Super was the one to strike so much fear into the hearts of DAMWON Kia. They could not clear out his position. They messed up the utility. They couldn't kill the ADSs, couldn't kill the shield, couldn't take him out of there as well. And Rin snuck into server, got spotted by that yokai drone, and instantly dipped back out. They rotated to lobby. They breached the lobby hatch instead. They dropped straight down, but to what? To a toxic babe, to 2 different Soniqs players holding your drop as well. It was really difficult to get out. Hell in a cell, if you will. They almost made it. Yas had a nice toe shot, but that's not enough. And yeah, match point for the side of Soniqs. Open area is where they believe they can end it out. And if you're at DAMWON Kia, you gotta start getting more active on the board because these last couple of rounds haven't really gone your way. Opening kill especially. So far, in all of these rounds, DAMWON Kia has only gotten 3 of the opening kills. Every other one is Soniqs, so that's 3 to 7. That's not really great statistically, but we know DAMWON Kia, this isn't really their forte. They don't typically get the opening kills anyway, but this time, well, they're not on the winning side. And sure, it's just map 1. We're playing Bank, a map that neither team has shown at Invitationals before. There's little study work to do. You can also even argue that Soniqs, they're already warmed up. They played Elevate earlier. DAMWON Kia, they're going in cold, so take this as your warm-up maybe if you're a DAMWON Kia fan.
This is something that if you're a fan of the FGC, you hear all the time. Lower bracket runs happen so often in the FGC because a player gets to really settle in and is perpetually ready for the next match. Yes, fatigue is a very real factor, and it is something to keep an eye on in any match. It happens. People get tired.
Of course.
But you have a break time in between. A lot of these teams, and on some of these players on the Soniqs, used to play those old DreamHack miners, if you recall, where you'd be playing like 12 best of 3s or 12 maps a day, 4 best of 3s, 3 best of 3s. It was an incredible amount of gameplay, and that really prepared you for events like this, where you play maybe 2 best of 3s a day and that's it. Yep. Yeah, that's a lot of Rainbow Six, sure. But some of these teams are scrimming way more maps than that a day, especially here at this event, so they are ready for that. It might take DK some time to find their footing.
Yeah, indeed, and for you guys at home that are curious, if you guys didn't know, we got the first map of Bank into Chalet, and Decider is Oregon. Bank was Soniqs' map pick, so that's obviously where they would like to go, and so far, they've shown exactly why that is. Taking 6 rounds off DAMWON Kia in a 6-5 scoreline is impressive, especially if you are Soniqs. I don't think that many people expected this game to go so close, but here we are. What do you know? Open area, minute 40 to go. Rin, this time around, has the verticality, and so does Katsang, because he this time is alive. C4 did not take him out, but you've burnt more time being more cautious. And that is what happens when you're inside your opponent's head. Rexon gets taken out, so Katsang actually trading back, being annoyed at what happened the previous time. And that's those breaching charges doing really good work already, and why they're so valuable, even though being overlooked very often.
Well, while the Soniqs might have led the way in terms of opening picks early on, it's become much more even since then. And the phone gets hacked as well by DAMWON Kia, meaning that that intel is available on behalf of the rest of their team. That's the bulletproof camera as well. That was in the hands of Yeti. It needs to get shot away, and there you go. No more intel is allowed. It's way too valuable. You don't want to use it at all. DAMWON Kia can ride out the final 50 seconds once they figure out where they want to push from. If you remember, it was a series of blunders and self-inflicted wounds that caused DAMWON Kia to lose control of this bomb site last time. The Soniqs did not really need to break too much at all. Nice shot from Super. Good lord, that's a good one. And that's the diffuser surrendered as well. A nade will sail on in, and he'll take out Super, who goes down swinging. No damage done to Yas in the process. 30 seconds left. That's a Nitro cell that goes out, and the Gemini will also walk in.
Yeti flank.
Here it is, on the top of blue stairs. What will he be able to accomplish? There's two nearby. Gets swung on by Yas. Hard to outduel Yas when he's feeling one. Katsang getting softened up. There goes Grixer as well. And all of a sudden it's Kanzin, but a beautiful double play. Trying to ride out the final 4 seconds. He has no idea where that diffuser is. SMG up. They're watching in this position. As he goes to swing out, there's both Coded and Katsang watching from this angle. Kanzin, are you a miracle worker? You only need one more.
Kanzin!
And there it is. One of the best plays that we've seen at this tournament. The Soniqs, in remarkable fashion, will take map number 1.
I can't believe it. I can't. That was a lost ride. Look at that. They're so happy. That is not the series, by the way. This is the first map. Soniqs' choice of bank.